In this video, I'm going to demonstrate what the social media marketing strategy plan, the final project for this class, what it looks like. In the past, this project was actually a long paper, but as I took a step back and thought about what my previous professional life looked like, very rarely are we dealing with papers if we're presenting to management or to a client. And so what's more common is, in fact, a presentation. And I designed this in Google Slides. I recommend that you use Google Slides. It's very easy to use if you've never used it before. There are pre-formatted templates that you can use that makes it really easy to add videos, to add snapshots and photos and change the color text and so on and so on. If you're more comfortable with PowerPoint, by all means, feel free to use PowerPoint. It's also a popular program to use as well. But let's look at what this looks like. So page 1 of the final project presentation is going to be an overview slide. A title slide. That, as you can see here, says social media marketing strategy. It has, for me, the name of the brand that I'm making up, and actually what I'm using is a fundraiser for a charity and an event which is called A Night to Remember. I gave it a fictitious date that is recent, so that is the cover page. Page 2 is the overview, where you actually state what the brand is, what they do, what they sell, and in my case, I've included the logo of the brand that I made up on on Canva, and a little bit about what my fictitious event is all about. Next, I do an audit, where you look at what the current existing situation is for social media marketing. In this case, I have identified that we are active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As you can see here, I've created false snapshots of what this is, and I've also done some basic analysis of what you see here. There's low to moderate engagement, which is why I'm stepping in to lead the charge on this event marketing strategy. We're active on these platforms. Facebook is the largest audience, which, as you'll see in the next slide, makes a lot of sense based on who our demographic is. And there are lots of happy birthday posts because in the world of cancer fundraising and nonprofits for families of kids, birthdays are very, very important milestones. So next is the target audience. Now, I'm hosting a rather elegant event, as you saw in the overview slide, called A Night to Remember. And it's not cheap. It's, $500 per plate to walk in the door. And so what I'm doing is targeting people within my area that have a little bit of money. And I have created 3 target profiles. Target profile number 1 is my local Ventura mom. She is a woman aged 30 to 45 with children, and she uses social media, lives an active lifestyle, and eats healthy foods. Chances are she's on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe Pinterest. Next, I have the golfer. This is a male who lives or works locally, aged 30 to 50, who golfs, has disposable income, and uses social media for work and leisure. We might find him on LinkedIn or maybe on Twitter. Finally, we have Grammy, local woman aged 55 to 70 who does volunteer work. She's probably retired. She travels, enjoys musicals, and shares pictures of her grandkids on Facebook, which makes sense, going back to the last slide, as to why we would be using Facebook. Next are my objectives. These are basic, high-level statements. Statement number 1, primary objective number 1, create awareness about the brand and the event. Number 2, drive traffic and ticket sales. My secondary objectives are to reach new participants and build loyalty among past participants. So that's kind of the foundation and the starting point of the social media marketing strategy plan. And then we get into the good stuff, which is to select strategies and platforms. Here we've decided to use digital channels and social networking sites. Facebook is the most valuable social networking site with over 5,000 followers and most audience engagements. Instagram, as one of the fastest growing platforms, is a big opportunity to build a community through photos, videos, and hashtags. And finally, the website needs to be updated with Instagram icon at the bottom and a blog named Updates. Which contains content from email marketing campaigns. Again, I'm identifying a couple of problems that we want to troubleshoot and fix in this scenario. And then we'll go one by one here. So first one is community management. As you can see here, I am identifying the strategy and the platform. Community management, Facebook. We're going to make sure that the page is updated and fits all of Facebook's standards, which I link out to here. That includes cover photos, visual assets. We're going to boost some posts on here using advertisement, which you'll see in a later week, a demonstration. You actually have an assignment about that later on in this class. Finally, we're going to use different types of posts to add a variety of content to the conversation. We're going to continue along community management with Instagram, add a company description because it is not fully filled out. Focus on stories, which is a feature on Instagram that allows us to share photos and follow influencers and brand ambassadors. Then we will initiate the Howard Foundation THF-oriented hashtags like THF25 and hashtag a night to remember. And then we will grow our audience by using hashtags like Cancer Sucks, Cancer Survivor, etc. We'll do some research on what these cancer-oriented ones are. Finally, we're going to choose the content marketing strategy and use our website blog to publish content in the update section that is valuable to the target audience, who we want to register for the event and make donations. We will use videos, photos, podcasts, and articles as the types of content we'll publish. And the important information will be included in this content ranging from facts about cancer and where donations go to videos and previous events of photos of items that will be auctioned off at the auction event, which we will look at in the next section, which is called Develop Content and Experiences. So now that we've identified what our strategies are and what our vehicles are, we're going to create specific tactic and strategies and types of posts that will open up the opportunity to engage with our audience. So type of content number one, where did donations go? We are going to explain where our donations go, especially from this event. And they go to a number of places like services, providing grocery assistance and monthly support groups, scholarship recipient stories, use relevant photos to reinforce the message. Here is an example of what that might look like. Next is a look back at 25 years. As I mentioned, this is the 25th annual Night to Remember for the Howard Foundation. And so we're going to share examples of previous events, right? Crowds and people bidding on auction items and dancing and dinner and all of this kind of thing. Another type of content is going to be facts about cancer. This is going to establish us as a credible expert in our industry. If we know the facts and the information about this disease, it will invite users to engage with us more and possibly donate funds to our cause. So a combination of statistics and emotional information about cancer, sharing important data about cancer and how it affects people, establishing the Howard Foundation as a credible authority on the subject of cancer, especially on Facebook. We will include links to sources, which you can't do on Instagram, only the link in the bio. Here's an example of what that might look like. We're actually sharing someone else's content, CureSearch, and we have tagged them right here in the, am I on this? We have tagged them right here on the post. You can see hashtag CureSearch or at CureSearch, so we are giving them credit. Next, we are going to sell our tickets. One of the things that we like to do is sell our product or our service. In this case, we're selling tickets to our dinner. Next, we are going to highlight key auction items. This event has really big auction items that people are going to bid on, and that is one way that we are going to raise funds. So here's an example of some LA Kings tickets that we are giving away. This is done to create buzz and generate hype about the event. As we showcase big ticket items, and it also allows us the opportunity to grow our audience by building hashtags outside of the traditional hashtag cancer sucks or cancer survivor, or even the branded ones that we came up with, like hashtag THF25. So here we use hashtag Lakers, hashtag Boxies, hashtag Hawaii, because there are vacations and so on. So after we have done our content and the types of posts that we're going to do and experiences, we're going to show what the activation plan looks like. You can get really detailed if this is written, but on a visual standpoint, I've created a 6-month timeline. Okay, so if the event is over here in September 2019, in March, 6 months before, we're going to send out some save the date invitations, both printed but also online. In April, our social media profiles are going to reflect the event branding so that we have a consistent, coherent message leading up to the event. In June, we're going to start selling tickets on the social network. We're essentially going to start sharing those posts that I showed before, asking people to buy early tickets. In August, a month before, we're going to start highlighting some of the key auction items. This is partially because we're still collecting our auction items that we're going to highlight, sell for the event or auction off for the event. So once we have them all compiled, we can start sharing them. And this is a great way to strum up buzz and interest for the event online leading up to it. Finally, we have the event, A Night to Remember, in September. The very last thing that we show is the data and metrics. And here you see some charts that I've created or taken snapshots of. This should be a visual slide. And here's what I have to say. While there are a number of key performance indicators to track for this campaign, from reach and frequency to click-throughs, which I should have right-clicked and ignored so that you don't have to see my work, and site stickiness, the only real number that matters is the amount of money that was raised, which for this case was north of $1.2 million. Again, this is all made up. This is fictitious. This is meant to be fictitious to go with the brands that you create here in week 1 of this course. And in week 7, when you finish this up and turn this project in, you'll be creating this content along the way as we go step by step through all of these elements, which is what we'll be learning during this course. And the last week, the last thing that we learn is about data and metrics. So let's include into our fictitious business or event or brand or promotion, whatever it is that we're doing, some sort of stats or data and analytics that we can hang our hat on. For me, I am suggesting that we did this right and we raised $1.2 million for our cause, and we ultimately agree that it was a success. So this was my demonstration video walking you through the steps. There's other resources in Canvas that will help you as well, including a grading rubric, all of different sections that are expected of you. I'm going to include this demo video in week 1, but the actual assignment won't be due until the end of week 7. So stay tuned for more information. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to me, and good luck.